Hi, Steve from Custom Table Tennis, and we're going to have a little bit of a look at glues. Originally, somebody wanted us to test all the different glues, and basically we'd have to buy in 6 different branded glues, and we're not going to buy in Butterfly, Donic and T-Bar and all these different glues, because we think probably they're very, very similar. If I sort of start, because people new to table tennis, they probably don't know the history of the glue. So years ago, it was this chemical glue, and you can see the warnings on it. I've masked it off because I don't know why. This is still available to buy. With it's the thicker version of the speed glue, and I'll come to that in a minute. So basically, you can read that for yourself. Highly flammable, irritating eyes and skin, toxic to organisms, keep out of the reach of children, keep container in a well ventilated area, and table tennis players were using this glue for 30, 40, maybe even longer. I only go back to the 80s. But a little bit about this and the speed glue before it. I don't know originally how anybody came to try it, but somebody was using bicycle glue, repairing the puncture on the bike, and they thought it might be a good idea to stick it on the table tennis bat. And the first international player of any note really to use it was T-Bar Clampar, and he used it in an early 1980s match against a Japanese defender, and everybody took note because it makes a specific noise. But anyway, I've rambled on about this stuff. So this came off, the first talked about taking this off the list in 2004, and then we had a 3-year delay for whatever reason. It was going to be the 1st of September 2007, and then because of the Olympics they delayed it another year, so it was actually officially banned on the 1st of September 2008. But that was the speed glue, and for whatever reason, I don't know why, this is still available. We don't sell it. I just won't sell it on principle. Last time we sold this over 10 years ago, the Royal Mail intercepted it anyway. So you got to use a courier to send this, and there's still some old players out there trying to get hold of it, even though it's been banned all these years. Now they say it's not approved for ITTF events or league play, but you can use it for practice. Well, do you really think that if somebody puts this on their bat, they're gonna just use it for practice and then pull the rubber off and use proper water-based glue? So enough said about this stuff. Cannot understand why it's still available. I've masked it off because I'm not naming and shaming. It's a particular brand that we've got here. This is not for sale. It's just to show people basically the table tennis glue of old. So get that one out of the way. What I'm going to look at, I'm only going to look at 4 different types of glue, and then we're going to come on to the glue sheet. When we make a table tennis bat, I'm not going to be using that because it's just for 3 or 4 bats. But we use our glue, which is the same as the XMI Bond. It's from the same factory, that you get a little bit more and a couple of sponges. We use this for somebody, if it's an order and we're just making the bat up, we'll use this. It doesn't come off, it doesn't fall off. We get phone calls, have you got any of the old glue, because that water-based stuff, it doesn't work. Well, 20, 30, 40 bats a day, sometimes it just doesn't fall off, but it'll come off when you want it to come off. But this stuff sticks better than the other type of glue, which I'll come to in a minute. So this is your normal stuff. Now what I've done, just for the purpose of this video, is I've got 2 layers on the rubber, on the sponge, and I've got 2 layers on the bat, and I'm just going to peel them off on every different one to show you the different effects of the different types of glue. Cost wise, can't remember what that is, $6.99, something like that. Our glue is $9.99, and you get basically four and a bit times the amount, but then you need the sponges, and we have these on the website with a little clip. But basically you can find a piece of foam yourself and anything will do. We use these and we give a couple out with our glue. That's the basic glue. Moving up here to the Revolution 3. Now this one's about $16.99, I think it is. $16.99 or $15.99, I can't quite remember. But anyway, you get 100 ml of this and elastic easy peel off. So if you're a person that's testing rubbers all the time and the rubbers are on and off and on and off, and you don't want to damage the sponge, you want this stuff or the Exium stuff, which I think this is $19.99, but you literally we have the normal viscosity in that. We're not keeping all the different viscosity, but you got twice as much, what, for another £3. But the proof is going to be when we take the rubbers off. So I'll move them out of the way, move that out of the way. Must remember to do the glue sheets at the end. So this is 4 layers. Ordinarily we wouldn't put 4 layers on, but you've got people ringing us up saying, oh, I don't like this new table tennis glue, it doesn't work. I mean come on, that's quite stuck. So let's have a look. So this is typically what you get with a normal glue. We've sealed the blade, we know we're not going to get any damage. So this is the Exium glue, and frustratingly, I mean, I've got a little rubber tool somewhere that does all this, but yeah, here we go, a little tool. You can get these separately for more stubborn jobs, and you just basically rub it off like that. Probably should be usually flat on a table, but you can see with a little bit of work you're going to get it all off there, no big deal. This is the normal glue, but then frustratingly you've got to start, I mean, you get it off. The only way you won't get this off is a really soft porous sponge, and it's a little bit of a struggle. It's a little bit of a struggle to get it off, because what happens is the glue goes deep into the pores, and yeah, it's a bit of a nightmare. I suspect this is going to be exactly the same. So those phone calls that we've had, all this water-based glue's rubbish, it doesn't work. I really don't understand. Look at that. It's never going to come off unless you start pulling it off. There you go, look. So you really got to pull it off, and look, what's happened there is most of it's come off the blade. There's no rhyme or reason why. Sometimes it comes off the blade, sometimes it stays on the rubber, but then on a hard sponge, this is a 44-degree hard sponge, you still, I mean, you might want to use the cheap glue. If it's staying on, use this glue. If you're on and off, use something else. So quickly then, moving across to, we'll go with the Revolution. We'll go with the Exium one first, because there's no great big claims about the Exium glue aside from the fact power click elastic, bit more rubber in there, a bit more latex in there. This is water based, it's perfectly legal, it's VOC free, made in the EU. We use this quite often for our local players who they don't want to damage the rubbers if they're taking them on and off, and it's like, oh Steve, can you put me 4 layers of your special glue on? And we'll do that for people. So that's that one. Let's see how this one's going to work. So we'll just start it from the bottom again. Right, so it's come off a lot easier. That's clean. But let's see, you can see where it's pulled. I mean, what I wasn't prepared to do, because I can clean these rubbers up, is, right, it has got a lot of elastic to it. You've got to get it started, and then it will pretty much come off like a balloon. But as I've said, don't expect to do this on something that's really, really soft. You might have a little bit more of a struggle, but certainly on this, I mean, you saw it was stuck, but look at that, it comes all off, and within a couple of minutes your rubbers are clean, and you can give them away, pass them on, use them for coaching, do whatever you want. Now that's the one. They don't really have any big claims aside from the fact that it's an elastic table tennis glue, and it's also got the click, and probably if it works like that, it's probably a little bit better value than the other. But this is the one that kind of put it all on the map. The Revolution number 3, elastic easy peel off, VOC free. We use the normal viscosity because that one's a little bit thicker. If you want a thicker glue, the power click is probably medium. So it's got all your instructions on there: shake bottle, pour glue into a rubber, onto the rubber. We'll be right back. We've just got a delivery. Just before we continue, I will say that this is all just ad-libbed. It's going with some of my knowledge. Everything is not cast in stone. But what I did say in one of my videos is I was going through some of the rubbers. I think the pimple video, and I said, "Oh, nothing's made in the UK." And of course, I was totally wrong. My mind was elsewhere. My mind was thinking about big factories making this, that and the other. But of course, we have the wood nut manufacturer will make a blade to your specification. This is a John Chew, specifically made with this handle, chunky handle, can turn it around fast for twiddling. Nice thin defensive blade with a bit of speed to it. So yeah, I've come off topic because I completely forgot to say in the video about the wood nut ones, because I was focusing on the rubbers really. So that aside, back to this one then. This is the one that kind of it's probably been around over 10 years, is the Revolution 3. Incidentally, do a really, really good cleaner, which we've got on another video. You put a couple of drops on there, go around with your hand. Cleaner, Restorer, Rejuvenator from the same company. So let's have a look at this one. Less of the talk and more of the action. Let's see what this one does. Okay, so blades come off clean. Let's see if it's any better or any worse than the other. I mean, yeah, I would say between the two, there's probably not a great deal in it, but look, you can pretty much, you're not going to do that with a normal glue. So once again, if you're putting your rubbers on and forgetting about it from one season to the other, don't worry about glues. Let us just put your rubbers on for you, and then you're good to go. If your rubbers are on and off and you're testing this, that and the other, why for the extra cost would you not want to use one of these two? So it's just a little quick look at glues. We've sort of what we've decided to try and do, and it's a little bit difficult, is try and slot these in between phone calls and deliveries and phones pinging and what have you. But we're trying to do them every Tuesday and Friday at 1 o'clock. So if you hit the like and subscribe button, these are available to buy. You just scrape the glue off on your stuff where it won't come off. And then finally, just before we wrap up, the glue sheet. And I don't know if there's a knife available. Can you pass us that knife from over there? It's a little bit difficult for you. And I'm just going to say it. I mean, it's very unlikely that the guy who rung us up said, "Oh, those glue sheets are rubbish, they don't work, it's only on one side." What you've got to do with the glue sheet, and we don't recommend these for normal rubbers. There's probably, in time, they'll probably work their way off. As good as these are, these are actually used on trains in Germany for the decals. They're really, really quite strong, probably stronger than they need to be, but we've used them for years and we really like them. What you got to do is get something, just get it started, get it peeled off, then that'll all come off. Throw that one out of the way. then, well, let's do it let's do it on a wood nut rather than me tell you about it, because for the time it's going to take, I'm not got a roller to hand, so I wasn't going to do this. But look, you roll it on, make sure you don't get any air traps in there, and then let's just pretend I've cut round it. I'm not going to get out the chair and start cutting round it, but what you've got to do is you'll be somewhere. Is any scissors? No, it doesn't matter, it's okay. What you've got to do down here is when you've got your cut, because I had this guy on the phone, he was like, oh, so you've sold me a duff one. I says, there's no such thing as a duff one. We sell tens and thousands of these over the years. We've sold thousands. There's not a duff one. They're tricky to get started. So you'll be down here. Right, we've managed to get a pair of scissors. So just imagine we've cut round. I know it's a bit of a, I wasn't going to do this, but I know people are going to ask about glue sheets, and basically we use these for ox pimples, where we don't, and then usually, because these are really aggressive, is we put a thin coat of water-based glue, as well as, because you just don't want to damage the blade. So there you go, all that's cut all the way around, and you've just got to get it started. As I say, we had this guy on the phone and he was adamant and he was getting all stroppy, and oh, well, I'm telling you now, it don't work. Look, it is tricky, and sometimes you get it pulled off and bring the glue with it. But there, we've got it started. Look, then peel it back. Right, I didn't do it properly, did I? But that, I mean, that's just not even rolling it on, and that, it's got a lot of tack on it, and we'll get a pimple rubber on there. And I had one of my pimple rubbers on for years, literally 3-4 seasons. It's not going to fall off. It helps also with your pimple guys who are twiddling, because they all ruffle up here. It helps to keep them down. So a little bit about glues. We've done the blades. We've done about selecting how to select a batten. We've done various things. We're going to try and do 2 a week. Literally, I had a look at it yesterday, and we've put 49 videos on in 6 years, which is less than one a month, which is not good. So we're going to try. Can't always promise. The next one coming up, it'll be about the new shoes that have just come in, and then eventually, when we get to it, I'll just quickly bring this in to wrap up. We quite like this company, Sauer and Troger, but I'm going to go more into it next time round. This is the new blade for pimple players. We're going to give it a go. Got a couple of young lads, Jack and Josh Bramley, are going to help me with that. We're going to actually get some footage as well, rather than me just sat here. But they're very, very innovative. Really like this new blade. I mean, I also like the sense of humour. I haven't got the packet, or have I? Probably because I want it, I haven't got it. It's probably in my bag. But you'll get to see the new monkey packet of the new rubber, and then on there, it's called a banana blade. Good sense of humour. Monkey, are you going to put your monkey on there? Well, I'll tell you whether I'm going to put monkey on there compared to what I'm using now. But what we need to do, we did some footage last week, but we need to test the rubbers on our own blades, and then test the rubbers on these Sauer and Troger blades. I know I'm off topic here. Now, somebody said to us, oh, you've only done 2 new bar reviews. I said, well, the reason why we're doing Sauer and Troger, they've got 10 rubbers, which when I think about it, that's not too bad, and 7 or 8 blades. I think it's 7. Dr. Neubauer, 69 rubbers and 25 blades, and I'm sorry, I'm not just going to sit down and go trawling through the whole. I won't live long enough to do it. But anyway, quick look at what we're doing. Hit the like and subscribe button, and buy your stuff from customtabletennis.co.uk. And we'll try and continue to do these videos. So, Steve from Custom Table Tennis. Bye for now.